Welcome back to the Anachroschism. When we left off last time, the party was in the middle of a conatus journey, the third shrine, the fire shrine, as it were. Or at least it certainly seems that way. They're not really formally called that, but there's been a lot of fire, so one would think. You guys basically had finished that first room, completed its puzzle successfully, and the statue had slid aside to reveal a staircase leading further downward. And as you descend those stairs and head back into the sort of now familiar hallways that connect these rooms that you've been through a couple times now, at least in the case of everybody but Samwell. These are now lit, these hallways that you're passing through as you would descend and then level off and start moving forward, have torches on both sides, all lit. Kind of mysterious in the sense of who would be lighting torches, but, you know, it's a magical place to begin with, so who knows. But it does keep all the area well lit. There have been times in past shrines where it's been a little difficult to see in certain junctions of it. Not a problem here. Plenty of fire and plenty of light everywhere you look. It does eventually, after just a few minutes have passed, lead to another door.
Okay.
Is Lana a bear?
I'm going to revert back to my human form because I was a bear earlier. Yes.
Yes.
So if we're going down the stairs and there's just like a bear in front of us.
There is, that's to you, but there is enough room for the bear to fit without making everybody else like squeeze around it or anything.
Maybe I would have gone down the stairs as a bear first and then reverted back to my human form upon reaching the door. Then I'm going to try it. Is it locked?
So you take the handle, and it feels warmer to the touch.
Okay.
Excellent.
But still not painful or anything. Just you're noticing it's definitely an improvement slash not an improvement over last time. It's hotter than it was, is the layman's terms.
Mm-hmm.
And it does turn.
Okay.
Goatee, you seem to be taking all this in relative stride. Is this normal for you?
I'm used to the unusual, we could say that. But I don't see any use in panicking.
It's a good outlook to have.
I mean, at the end of this, I'm going to go back home and hopefully meet up with that friend, and hopefully no time has passed. Because if I'm late, well, let's just say things won't go so well for me.
What year do you think it is?
This is
Do
where
we know what year it is?
Yeah, Maya, what year is it?
I don't know.
Before we put any
2020 election.
pressure.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't...
I don't think we know what year it is in the game, so if she could make up anything, Aaron, it would be
It was a
maybe
good
correct.
question in my head.
Yeah.
2053? I don't know.
She comes from a distant land.
Ooh, 2053, Chris.
She comes from a place called Narnia.
Oh, God. Oh, it's okay. You can come out of the wardrobe closet. No big deal.
That's basically what happened.
Hey.
Damn Aslan. It is kind of what happened here, actually, yes.
So, like, have you seen something like this before? And I pass her my gun, not an innuendo. I'm literally showing her my actual gun.
Jesus Christ.
Of course not an innuendo.
One bard and we devolve into children is so great.
And you have. Not frequently, but you have.
Yes, I've seen them. A little more than I'd like to. But I have.
So you can't be that far back.
In terms of, I mean, do you need a frame of reference? Would you like to know what the time I'm from looks like?
Yeah, please, paint a picture.
Well, I mean, the towns look like towns and the people look like people. Is that a good enough description?
It's absolutely perfect.
Mm.
On the flip side, it would be a problem if the towns did not look like towns and the people looked otherwise. So that is helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where you hail from?
Sorry, I was going to say Narnia.
Well, I'll go build a Narnia town for this world. Fine.
Oh, God.
So the one thing that you can help to bridge this gap with is, as you kind of compare notes with these other strangers that you have not met before, some of the key cities in the land are still familiar. When they mention like a Lycidian, that's a city you're familiar with. It's one of the biggest in the country. When they mention Waychester, that's where the nobility lives. There are certain touch points that line up with their understanding of the world where you can kind of compare notes between you and be like, okay, well, we're not necessarily sure exactly when, but it's a time that mirrors this one in the sense that some of the things that have been around for a while were around wherever he's from.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you something. Is the name, and again, sorry, Maya, does the name Faust Dryden mean anything to you?
It sounds vaguely familiar, though nothing important.
Interesting.
We are concerned that you may not be from here, if that makes sense. I don't
As
understand.
in...
Tessian,
Our
want to
journey,
explain, please?
yes, our journey has led us to the discovery that where we are now is but one of two separate instances of the world, so to speak. We have evidence to believe that there are two Arameas, potentially two Lycidians, two Waychesters, and such, and perhaps even duplicates of either ourselves or others in both worlds. We have met some people and the occasional artifact that has moved from one to the other, and I suppose there is always the possibility that where you're from is a similar situation, or perhaps not. We have yet to, as I said earlier, figure out exactly what is going on here.
Well, I'm not exactly sure I'm the person to tell you. And I'd hate to find out that there was another one of me running around somewhere else.
It could be anything. Maybe it's a killer or a woman.
Who knows? I could certainly be a woman.
Yes, well, the door.
Got it.
Lena's hand has been on the door for the last 7 minutes.
My hand has third-degree burns now.
Yeah. Even at its relatively warm temperature and not scalding, it is still seared into her hand.
Yes.
Lena, what do you think about Goatee potentially being a woman here? Just what is the thought? What do you think about it?
I look at him for a moment, and you can see the, gears are turning in my head. And I say, probably not. But
Lena, you're blushing.
You don't think I'm familiar enough with what a woman is to know?
Yeah, Lena, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Lena.
What? Okay. Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm not having this discussion right now. I am going through this door. Care to follow?
I don't know if it's the shrine or you're blushing, but you look a little red.
It's the
I'm
heat.
staring
Oh, it's the
daggers
heat.
at Isaac.
It's probably because she's into women.
And then that gets a blush. That gets a blush. And then I quickly open the door.
Why, Goatee?
Fling it open.
You might be exactly right.
I'm gonna start asking
Would you
Tessian
like me
if
to
tieflings are like frogs.
Would we like you to what?
Never mind. Door?
I want to answer yes to whatever that question was. I think Lena agrees, in fact.
Where I am following Lena into the next room.
Yes.
We're gonna.
I've already flung it open, and I'm striding into the next room.
And as you do so... Sorry, work text.
It's fine.
It's great.
Go ahead.
Unacceptable.
I know.
What, the world falling apart is more important than our D&D game?
Yeah, it's like Sundays aren't even a day off. It's great.
Are you used to being part of such a bashful group, Samuel?
Depends on the company I keep that night.
Nice flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
Lena will appreciate that, I
myself
think.
with all lines of
Good.
all
Good.
backgrounds.
Okay.
As you guys step into this next room, some more hastily than others, you see a few things that are a little bit concerning. One is, as you're all stepping inside, the room is bigger than the last one, certainly. Maybe 100 feet across, 3 or 4 times bigger than the last room, a lot more spacious to some extent. However, there's a small strip of land as you walk in that then goes into a circular area. There's a door on the far side with a similar strip leading up to it as well. It's hard to make out any details on it from here, but you can see it across the way easily enough. There is lava, just kind of, or magma, just pooling in from some unknown source, sort of like near the top of this room. Does not have a ceiling, but it's still, there's something above you that you can't really see. It's too high up, but there's lava just pouring in from all sides into what appears to be also an additional source of lava, just kind of pooling around the exterior of this circular platform. The one other thing that really catches your eye, and it's sort of unfair of me to reveal it in this order, but you know, dramatic license, is a creature in the center of this platform in this room with red scales, spikes along its back and along its neck, sharp, jagged teeth, long limbs with clawed feet at the end of them, and also 7 heads.
See, I was hoping with red scales maybe like
good.
salmon, but then you started in on the spikes and the claws. And
the door slams shut behind you, and I need everyone to roll initiative.
So we're fighting a Hydra in like Syndrome's little room from The Incredibles.
It's not that. It's still somewhat small. Yes. Yes, this
Fantastic.
is a pyrohydra.
A Pydra, if you
Hey,
will.
20.
Yeah.
Hydra. It just shoots pies at us.
Yep.
Strawberry and raspberry.
14 initiative.
14 for me as well.
What's your guys' dex? Either the number or the plus, either way.
Are you fucking
Mine's
kidding me?
a 1.
Hey, Karash, do you want to join us on this shrine
I-
today?
I did it, and I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
jeez.
why I'm asking.
That's his third one of the day, folks.
Oh, God. One of them was calculated just because I have a -2 on intelligence.
Bubo got a 16.
Oh my god.
Karash, Bubo
Bubo.
is contributing more than you are.
I got a 5. Contributing more than me.
Bubo is an owl.
Bubo. It's MVP.
As I trip into the room, vaguely aware of the floor and nothing else.
Well, let me see what Bubo's dex is.
13. It's only +1.
It does beat the pyrohydra then on a tie, because it also has a 16. But its dex is 12.
The best little owl there ever was.
As you step inside, well, you've already stepped inside. As you kind of take a look at this creature, some of the heads don't appear to be paying you any mind. A couple of them appear to be sleeping. But a couple of them are also staring directly at you and just sort of tracking your movement. They have not necessarily made a move yet, even as they've watched you enter this chamber. But they are trained on you as you take a couple steps inside. And, yeah, Isaac, it's your turn.
God damn it. I don't know how much of this you can tell us, Chris, but like you're saying their eyes are trained on us. Is that just a normal for they haven't had their turn yet, or does it seem like different than that? Like maybe they're just kind of surveying.
It's difficult to say for certain.
Okay.
But you get the sense that they are certainly aware of your presence, but they have not, like, they're not surprised by you, but you're also not surprised by them. If you're asking me if you can talk to the pyrohydra,
No, I don't want to talk. I just
I'm going to give you some bad news about common.
Tessie, and I'm going to shoot this thing. Any protests?
Does Tessie know anything about pyrohydras, I guess, is the question.
You can make a history check.
I would love to.
Anybody else who'd like to, I guess. Anybody who can read.
Sure, maybe I
hey.
read about them in storybooks or something.
Sure.
I rolled I got a 20.
I got it at 20.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Nice. 11. I don't know anything.
Tessian and Samwell, both of you have read about these creatures. They're sort of the stuff of legend. It's not something neither of you have ever encountered one, but at the very least, you know that they are fierce, horrendous, abnormal, and generally filled with some combination of rage and hunger. If one of these is before you and it matches the legends that you've heard, they won't be reasoned with, negotiated with, bargained with. They are here to eat you, because they'll eat just about anything. On a nat 20, Samuel, I'll also add, you are familiar with this creature in particular. There was just one story in particular that just kind of stood out to you from back then where you thought, oh, that's fascinating. What an interesting tale about the fact that this creature actually, supposedly, again, being of legend, but supposedly has the ability to regenerate its own heads.
Okay. Well.
Which you can convey to the group as the two of you see fit.
Okay. Should. So, about this Hydra, which it is in fact a Hydra, I don't suggest we make any sudden movements, maybe take any of the tension of their heads, because they do in fact regenerate when lobbed off.
Interesting. Look at you pulling your weight already. Chris, so first of all, is it in the magma? Like,
No.
is it just like chilling?
In the center of the room. There is room around the platform all around it. Again, it's 75 feet across maybe,
Okay.
so that you can get around it, behind it. There's room to be not, on the platform, but not directly in front of it, etc.
So I want to look up. I want to survey like the top of the area and see like, is there something that looks loose or that could, if it was a water tower, could I knock it over full of lava, like that sort of thing? Something that I can use to my advantage if we could only dislodge it.
Looking up, you do not see a ceiling as far as you can see.
The
lava flows on the exterior that surround this, again, in kind of that circular area, are probably 40, 45 feet high. They lead up to some source that you can't see from down here. And unlike the last room that had a pretty low ceiling that was like 10 feet, this one, you can't see anything as far as your sight takes you.
I mean, I don't know what to do. I guess I can start shooting it. My shooting isn't going to decapitate any of the heads, so maybe that will help. All right, I'm going to start shooting now. I say, I think your cool head, goatee, will serve you well here. Just try to keep up. And I'm going to draw my guns, and it is impressively fast. You can't even barely see my hands. And I'm going to attack. So 3 heads are looking at us right now.
Yes.
I am going to shoot the middle one, the angriest looking one. Is that the middle one, would you say?
For the sake of keeping this as simple as possible, you don't need to pick a head.
Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay, then I will just start shooting.
You can target a head if you have a specific ability or something, but you don't have to worry about like which head's been damaged the most or any of that stuff.
Okay, that actually is helpful. So, okay. So my main attack right now. Main gun. I'm not going to do any tricks yet. I just no, I will. I'm going to do the point of grit combined with the sharpshooter. Point of grit for Deadeye. So it's going to be, I'm going to take a negative but roll with advantage.
Okay.
So 27 to hit.
That hits.
Well, 22, I'm sorry, technically. And
Still hits.
19 piercing damage.
Okay.
I'm going to go, technically it's the main again for the exact order of this thing. I'm going to do the same thing.
Grit point number 2.
That's a 25 to hit.
That does hit.
20 piercing.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot my regular gun in a regular way. Like a regular guy.
Like a regular man. Doing what a regular man can.
21 to hit.
That hits.
14 piercing.
Okay.
And,
So,
go ahead.
having received a scouting report from the people who enjoy reading curious tales and folklore, you decide, all right, well, if this thing is this terrifying, then we're just going to go ahead and open up on it. And you fire multiple shots that all strike it in various points, one in the body, one in one of the heads. One of the heads that was looking in your direction does seem to slump over and is no longer looking in your direction.
Aw, it's sick.
As the shots tear through it, now all of the other heads, the ones that were sleeping and the ones that were just sort of looking about in a different direction, are all now looking in your direction. But one of them is no longer responding from the looks of it.
How many heads are
7.
7? Okay.
I'm going to move to the right. I'm envisioning like a walkway, I guess, as this goes in a circle. I don't know if that's right. I just want to move away from the group.
There's like a 10-foot stretch as you came in that's pretty like door width, or like 1 square wide basically, or a couple squares, and then it opens up into that circular area. So you can move out into that, yeah.
Yeah, just kind of to spread them out a bit.
Can do.
And that's going to be my turn.
All right. Well, I'm interested to see what happens. So, it's time for Bubo.
I telepathically tell Bubo to just stay safe and away from the Hydra. So he just tries to stay away from it.
So he kind of flies up and off to the left, the opposite direction that Isaac went, and it's just sort of up there, slowly flapping its wings, surveying the situation. Doesn't appear to want any part of this. Is, as you know, obviously not well suited for combat.
You just see Bubo up in the corner, like, hold me back, bro, hold me back.
I mean,
Hold me
like,
back,
I
hold
can
me back."
deliver touch spells with him, but he has 1 HP. So, like, I don't know that I want him anywhere near fighting.
Yeah, probably not. Okay, good turn. Well done, Bubo.
Good job.
Next up is the Pyrohydra,
Delightful.
and it's going to lumber over to Isaac.
Let's see what you got.
Just to eat you alive.
And it's
Just-
going to multi-attack.
Yeah.
So, a 26 to hit,
Yes.
a 13 to hit,
No.
a 28 to hit,
Yes.
a 12 to hit,
No.
a 25 to hit,
Yes.
a 15 to hit,
No.
and a 20 to hit.
Yes.
So 4. Oh, I'm sorry, that last one doesn't count. Excuse me. So the last one does not hit.
Yay.
Because that head is dead.
Yay.
So 3 hits. You take 11, 13,
Ooh.
and 10 piercing damage.
24, 34.
So yes, 34 points of damage total.
Okay.
And then, as its final deal, one of the heads rears back and breathes fire in a line towards the remainder of the group.
Oh no, that's what I was trying to help with.
So that would be Lena, Samwell, Tessian, Karash. I need you all to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, this'll be good.
Okay.
Hey, 15, not terrible.
15 is a fail.
Okay, terrible.
Just to make sure you don't have too much hope.
21.
21 is a success.
10.
10 is a failure.
Oh.
10.
10 is still a failure.
Damn
Are you?
it.
You're not a bear anymore.
No, I'm back to my human form
She's
again.
a regular old elf.
Well,
Okay, so Samwell, Karash, and Lena, you all take 20 points of fire damage.
Ow.
Jiminy Christmas.
Tessian, that's halved to 10.
And I will use a reaction to cast Absorb Elements my once a day
There you
in
go.
order to have that again.
So down to 5. Just 5 damage for Tessian.
Oh.
Why do you want me to take more damage?
And at the end of the Pyrohydra's turn, you see the head that's been hanging there limp off to the side as it approached and started attacking with all of its head snapping, flutter back up and seems dazed for a half second, but does seem to be alive again as the Hydra is regenerating. That is the end of its turn.
I have a weird question.
Sure.
So I did shots to the body too. Do the body shots seem to still have done damage, or does that look like it's like regenerating as well?
Seemed like it did damage. It seems like, to describe it in a simple way, I suppose, it's like as its body or its heads or whatever take more punishment, it lacks the ability to continue all of its heads in motion simultaneously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So it was effective. It wasn't like, if you had shot the head differently, maybe more than would have been disabled. It's just a cumulative HP stat that has some effects in play that I can't tell you about. So, Samuel, you're next.
Okay. I am going to cast a major image to create a vision of perhaps another Hydra like himself somewhere in the room as a distraction.
I think that will work. Let me just double check this guy's size. Huge, so 20-foot cube. That should be fine. Yeah. So like behind him, other side of the room.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys are watching, Samuel extends his hand.
But how
and
do you cast your spell?
I pull out my viol, which is still slung around my back somewhere, and I begin to effectively pluck a few strings until this metallic sort of choral sound comes through and builds until the summoning of the Hydra appears somewhere behind the real Pyrohydra behind it. More harsh the sounds, than you would originally assume from the sound of the viol itself.
Okay.
Nice.
And then a second of these creatures appears behind it.
She's turning on us.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
my God, making
She's
more of them.
evil. She's ruining
I
everything.
suppose.
Well, I guess the character, but
Samuel.
Yeah.
Goatee, that one's on our side, right?
Friendly for now. Hopefully he doesn't think so.
Yikes.
and you can see a couple of the heads now dart over in that direction, kind of like. "Arr."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do? Move. Bonus actions.
Hopefully, I would like to move away from the group, but that's about it. Maybe to
Okay.
the left.
So move in maybe on the left-hand side. With your movement, you can get certainly a decent amount away from them. No problem.
Okay.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Lena.
Okay. I'm gonna try and move and keep some distance between us all. And then,
Safest approach is probably straightforward at this point.
yeah.
You can kind of move up to it if you'd like, because then you won't be next to either of the two who have already moved in.
Yeah, I guess I'll move in a little closer to it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna try and cast Tidal Wave.
Ooh.
And cast it in such a way that it doesn't affect the major image behind it. I don't know why it would, but I don't want to accidentally ruin the illusion there.
Let me see.
Or
I believe that will be
accidentally-
possible. I just want to double check Tidal Wave
Yeah.
to see its size. Up to 30 feet long, up to 10 feet wide, and up to 10 feet wall. Yeah, you can certainly shape it in a way that only hits the Hydra you're targeting, because you can make it smaller than its maximum size and then have it in a tight enough line.
Yep.
So I'll say that's fine. So it needs to make what kind of save?
It needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, it's not very good at those. So good chances here. That's a 6, so a 7 total. I already gave away its dex, so I don't feel bad telling you. So it fails.
Perfect.
So roll your, it probably already has rolled your 4d8 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah. Why is it not letting me click on it? There it goes.
Oh, you're gonna have to roll it yourself, I think.
Oh, so
/R space 4d8.
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
Wow.
That's
well,
really bad.
the good news is its secondary effect will still be important because, yeah, she rolled 3 1s on her d8s.
It's like the lava absorbed all the water.
So
Yeah, how long is this? Does it get the lava? Does the lava like go black if you make some space?
Well, considering how this works, I'll tell you. Because the length of the spell doesn't matter as much as where it's going to be splashing down afterwards. So you step forward to create some separation to get yourself kind of an angle to where you can do this and not affect what Samuel has just cast, and you send this water cascading in this pretty tight line through the Hydra past it as it passes through. The Hydra seemingly takes it full blast. Doesn't have quite the desired damage you're looking for, but it does knock it over as it can't keep standing on its little 4 legs as the head skull kind of like rear back and wave about as they're sort of accounting for the fact they've just been knocked over in its body.
That's great for me. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the good news, even though the damage sucked. And then as the water kind of passes through it, deals its damage, knocks it over the force of it, and then splashes into the lava behind it. It's enough that it does sort of create this shell on top of the lava in that area. How long that's going to hold? Not entirely sure, but it does, at least for the time being, cover it with enough water that it hardens the area for the time being. So you have a little additional space over there to work with if somebody wants to be brave and go stand on it.
I will.
So, and there goes Tessian. He died.
Oh, so dead.
Which is a shame because it's his turn.
No.
All right, he's back.
Oh, I don't know. Skype's being dumb.
Oh, yeah, I got to do the 8 damage. 9 damage. 9 damage. Got it.